What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 51, fresh off a World Series win against the Houston Astros. And guys, here's the standings. So here's who won. So Rob Havoc, Little Johnny Vert, and Silent Night. You guys were the winners with lucky sevens. It's pretty cool, right? 777. Hit the jackpot. Ding, 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 ding. Nice. Now, but here's another thing. Not so good. Big Geo, Beans Cars, and Wesley Fogel, you guys got 666. It's the mark of the beast. Okay? Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. But you know what? We can spin this in a different light. You guys, all 6 of you guys, are going to help us as the community, as a channel. We're going to make the Reds hit a home run this offseason. Wow, I didn't even mean to use that pun, but hit a home run this offseason, and we're going to build a beast in the NL Central moving forward for the future. So what I want this offseason to be like is I want you guys to have more opinionated, more opinions, really. I want you guys to be able to be more active in this and be more commentating and really dive into who do you think we should sign, who do you think we should trade, so on and so forth. Ultimately, again, I'll have the ultimate say and the final say on what we choose to do, but that's kind of where I see this going for the offseason. Now, for as far as the regular season goes, I think what I want to do is, because now that we're pretty much into September, so basically we've got just a few more weeks left until actual regular baseball season is over. What I want to do, because we spent the whole summer of 2018 real life playing 2 seasons worth of a franchise series. So what I want to do going forward is 2 uploads per week still, Mondays and Fridays, but we're gonna like expedite this thing. We're gonna move it very, very quickly and get into like 5 years, 6 years type of thing, because I want to see what Taylor Trammell's gonna do, and I know you guys are curious. Hunter Green, what's he gonna do? What are some of our pitching prospects, our drafted guys gonna do? How's everything gonna pan out for the Reds farm system that we've built? Really just dive in and see like what was our effect on this Reds franchise. And you know, if we start winning World Series and NL Central championships and really being competitive, then we know we did a good job, right? And then whoever we choose in the next season for MLB 19 The Show, maybe we might need to change some of our strategy up. So hope you guys can stick around for that for next year. So that's a long way away though. So let's go ahead and get into the MLB The Show screens, and I'll show you guys some of what I'm thinking about. But again, I want your guys' opinions, and I want them to be hard and strong, because I definitely want you guys to have more of an input on this offseason. So let's get right into it, guys. All right, guys, let's get into the offseason video here with a little bit more depth, right? So let's talk about the exclusive free agents here up on this list. Billy Hamilton, Jared Hughes, and Matt Harvey. Honestly, the only guy I'm really considering here is Billy Hamilton. Let's take a look at what he's asking for, and you guys can see the cash flow has gone upward, but that's technically because there's a lot of players still left unsigned. So when we go to the simming free agency in the next stage, there's a lot of players that are left unsigned, which is going to knock down that cash flow quite a bit of ways. And we can see that the cash flow is directly related to how much money the player is being paid per week. We can see that Billy Hamilton's asking for over $564,000 per week. Honestly, this is a guy that I would want to bring back. It doesn't give us a whole lot of flexibility when it comes to guys down in minor leagues and other guys that we need to sign and maybe not even make a big free agent splash. But this is a guy that you want to consider bringing back, because who is the guy gonna be? Who's the Reds guy gonna be when Joey Votto is gone, right? Tucker Barnhart, not really a guy that, you know, the fans love him, right? But he's not like the guy. When I'm talking about the guy, I'm talking about Joey Votto, right? He's definitely your guy. Jeanette, it's pretty cool himself, but he's not the guy. Suarez, not the guy. Peraza, definitely not. Winker, definitely not. Billy Hamilton would be the next guy, right? Somebody who puts fans in the seats. Like, you want to go and you want to go watch Billy Hamilton run. You want to go and you want to watch Billy Hamilton play defense, right? You want to go and you want to watch Joey Votto hit, right? For the more casual fan, that makes sense, right? For the more like baseball enthusiast, yeah, you'd be like, I want to watch Nick Senzel, or I want to watch Scooter and Suarez and Winker, and I want to watch these guys, and Keuchel and Castillo, and but for most people, it would be Votto and Billy Hamilton, right? And Votto is no spring chicken. He's going to be retiring here pretty soon. He hit 346 last season. He had his best career, he had his best season as a pro in that World Series championship team, right? So it's a good way to kind of send him off, right? The legacy of Joey Votto is by bringing Billy Hamilton back. Give the fans another guy to kind of take the torch. Take that torch. Pass the torch down, right? He's not going to be Joey Votto. It's not what I'm saying. Like, I just think that long-term he makes some sense to do it. But again, I know that there were people talking about in past videos that we needed to either trade Billy Hamilton or we needed to move on from him. We don't need to bring him back because he's going to cost a lot of money. All of that is true. He's definitely going to cost you a lot of money, but looking forward might be the way to go. So what do you guys think as advisors? What do you guys think about that type of move? So I'm actually going to sim. I'm not going to sign him here. I won't save this file so that we're not competing against other teams trying to sign Billy Hamilton. So I'm just going to go ahead and sim this and then get to this screen here. We're going to have to select our 40-man roster, which I will personally do. There's a lot of guys on here that, for strategy purposes, like Ryan Franks, we don't need to put him on the 40-man. He's not going to be claimed anytime soon. Phillip Ervin would probably be a guy that we need to put on the 40-man. He would get picked up in a heartbeat. 71 overall type of outfielder. Definitely get picked up. Kiefer, he would be a guy. Shed Long would be a guy. Anaya, you wouldn't have to. Wimberly, wouldn't have to touch him. Travesio, you might have to. Maitan, don't have to worry about him. Mela, yes, put him on there because he's right there. Gary Mela. It's basically anyone over 25, I think. It's either 24 or 25, I believe. I don't remember the rules offhand, but that's basically that. So as far as that, I'll take care of 40-man roster, but salary arbitration, do you guys want to bring back Dave Sclafani? I say yes. It's going to cost us some money here, but nothing that we can't handle, right? 161 per week, we can do that. We can swing that. And basically the reasoning is he's an 81 overall pitcher, right? And if you look at the staff right now, it's Castillo, Keuchel, and then Graveman would be your number 3, Molly would be your number 4, and then your number 5 would have to be like Finnegan or Romano, and we've already seen how that works. It doesn't work, right? That's actually a downgrade on the pitching staff, even though Tyler Mahle and Castillo are going to get a bump next season. It's a downgrade because you're losing a guy as good as Dave Sclafani is. Now, my thought process here is like if you do sign Dave Sclafani and we have a kind of a World Series hangover type of thing, we can end up flipping him for something else, right? And we can maybe start to clean house a little bit and kind of really get into that younger direction because a lot of our guys, if you look at the age here in a lot of our players, that 29 to 30 type of range, there's a lot of guys on there, right? So the window is closing a little bit. I won't say it's completely narrowed, but it's closing a little bit to actually make runs at championships and competitive seasons, which is why we kind of want to get some of our younger guys into this culture, into this mode of competing. That way we can have long-term sustained success. So I say bring back Dave Sclafani. I say bring back Kyle Crockett and bring back Finnegan. Not going to bring back Tommy Joseph only because Pavin Smith is ready to go. He's going to take that backup first base job for 2020 and be that kind of that pinch hit type of guy. He's that left-handed hitter. He can learn from Joey Votto. It's going to be a good situation for him to do that. Tendering contracts. This is a big list, and this is the list I was talking about, guys. There's a lot of players on here that I want to bring back as far as organizationally goes. Like Nicolino is a nice AAA type of pitcher. Like You want to bring a guy like that back. Thomas More, we got to do it. Diego Palmeiro, got to do it. Maitan, got to do it. Ambrose, got to do it. Gutierrez, got to do it. So, I mean, it's not because I'm familiar with these players. It's just that you just need to bring these players back. Villalobos, a potential, you have to do it. But I'm just going to scroll through these very, very quickly so you guys can kind of like pause it if you need to. And get your opinions out there. I'm thinking about not bringing Jimmy Sherfy back, though. Honestly, like, he was a project guy when we traded for him. I thought he might have hit it big a little bit, but you know, it's just kind of not working out. I don't think he's ever going to reach that potential of being 28 years old. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's tender contracts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the free agent list. It's kind of not too loaded this season, honestly. You got Rizzo. We don't need a first baseman. We don't need Bogarts. Second base, third base, just don't need it. Garrett Cole, that would help. Carlos Carrasco would help. Zach Britton definitely would help. Anthony Rendon, not going to help. There's Billy Hamilton, but again, you know, once we make that decision if we want to sign him or not, I'm not going to save this file. I'll just go back in and re-sign him or not for the next episode. Marcell Ozuna, you know, these are just guys that we don't really need. Let's just take a look at starting pitching because I think that is where I want to focus on in the offseason. What do you guys think? Because it just doesn't look like we don't need very many positional players other than like younger players for depth, right? Barnhart's got the catching job. Tyler Stevenson's going to be our backup unless we really don't think that he's ready for a backup role, unless we want to like a defensive-minded catcher, you know, like Chris Stewart was for our backup job. I think that would make some sense too. Bring in another backup catcher behind Barnhart, because you don't want to miss a beat. You don't want to ever miss a beat. Barnhart's a really good defensive catcher, and you know Tyler Stevenson's kind of not there yet, right? But Pavin Smith, it was definitely going to take that backup job at first, so we don't need a first baseman. Don't need a second baseman because you got Jeanette, Shedlong in the wings, Senzel, Peraza, Defoe. Remember, we still have Wilmer Defoe. I was thinking of Ryan Franks. Third base we don't need. Shortstop, that's Nick Senzel's job. Winker, Trammell, Moore, Wimberly, Culberson. Don't need outfield. Billy Hamilton will be there if we sign him. Trammell will be in center if we don't. Schebler in right. Aquino, right field. Like, we just don't need a lot of positional players, right? Like, if anything, I'm once again looking at starting pitching. You know, Kendall Graveman pitched pretty well for us. This is his best statistical season of his entire career. I mean, he only pitched 4 2/3 in 2014, so you can't even look at that and be like, oh yeah, .86. No, this was his best season of his entire career. The most innings he's ever pitched. He was good. He was good for us. Well worth the $1.6 million salary that we're paying him. But when we look at Finnegan and Garrett and Romano, these are relief type of guys. Tyler Mahle really stepped up. Ryan Yarborough, going to be a pretty good pitcher for us in the future. I think maybe he might be even a relief type of guy in spring training if he wins a job. Hunter Green up to a 70 right now. He's obviously going to be very, very good. So, yeah, I mean, pitching. It's all about pitching, guys. It's really where we're at right now. So, if anything, that's where I think we should focus on if we get to free agency here. So, when I look at the list, you know, Garrett Cole's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to knock us down to 106, and that's, you guys got to consider, if we go that route, then signing Billy Hamilton, it's going to knock us down to like almost $500K left to go for cash flow, right? That's a pretty dire straits right there. Carrasco gets us to 1.3 if we sign him and not Hamilton. If anything, I'm looking at a guy like Alex Wood, right? Not going to cost a whole lot. He's 29 years old. It's a pretty good pitcher at 81 overall. He's the same overall as Kendall Graveman. If you signed him, you'd have 2 left-handers in the rotation. It would be Castillo, Keuchel, DeSclafani, Alex Wood, and then the number 5 would probably be Tyler Mahle or Kendall Graveman, whoever ended up winning the number 5 job. I probably think it would probably end up being Tyler Mahle, but then Kendall Graveman can kind of be that relief option. So if anything, guys, it's really looking at this list, seeing who you'd want to grab for cheap, who makes sense, who fits in with what we're trying to do at the major league level, and maybe we even want to find a guy like a diamond in the rough type of guy that, you know, like this guy, Brock Stewart, 28 years old, 62. Like he might not be too bad for us down in the minor leagues. Dylan Peters, he's 27. He wouldn't be too bad. Taylor Williams, Sam Gaviglio, not bad himself, 29. Like, you know, there's guys here that we could really fill out that minor league level for sure. But let's take a look at catchers too. So, good defensive catcher, Russell Martin. Martin Maldonado, Matt Wieters. He could help us out with some hitting. Yan Gomes. Yan Gomes would be pretty good, actually. Mesoraco, there's no point, honestly. Salty, struck him out quite a bit in that World Series. Not a whole lot here going on with catcher right now, but yeah, I mean, I would think that we'd probably want to go with a guy like, you know, you can't get Kurt Suzuki because you don't want him pushing Tucker Barnhart, right? So I'm thinking if we wanted to do anything with that, with catcher, it'd probably be a guy like Yan Gomes. He can hit for some power, he can pinch hit a little bit. Would not be a bad signing as a backup. I think that would work. First base, again, we just don't need anybody here. We got first base on pretty much on lockdown. Second base, I like Jed Lowry. But there's nowhere to play him on our squad. Third base, who's this guy? Peter Davis. Weren't we scouting this guy? I thought we were scouting this guy at one point. He's 19 years old, 59 overall. Look at those contact numbers. That's pretty good. Vision's pretty good. He's got the makings of a good player. I want to give him a shot too. Definitely fill out the minor leagues for sure. Shortstop, don't need it. Left field, I'm honestly not even considering outfield. It's just, there's just no point, really, honestly, guys. Center. Gerard Dyson. He would actually be really helpful off the bench for center field or just for outfield in general. He'd be really helpful because right now we don't really have any speed off the bench other than Jose Peraza, and he's not even that fast. Like he's quick, but he's not like Billy Burns or Gerard Dyson fast. You know what I mean? Dalton Pompey. Right field, Nick Castellanos might be an interesting player to grab, especially if like Pavin Smith doesn't pan out. First base, he could play first base. He could play left field, which is kind of where I think that he should be, is in the outfield. I don't think when the Tigers were putting him at third base, like look what he was doing there at third base. It's just nuts. 20 errors. 15 errors, like this is bad. That's very, very bad. So then they stuck him in the outfield, and he's been okay. He's been fine. He's more of a DH in my mind, but you know, with those defensive numbers right there, they classify him as an outfielder. He wouldn't be too bad of an offensive player either. Be a nice little upgrade out there in the outfield for sure, especially when Schebler's gone You know, again, if we have a World Series hangover, Schebler's probably the guy that's going to go. He's the oldest outfielder that we have, the one that would probably fetch the most interest. Billy Hamilton's not going to go anywhere. If he does sign with us, he's not going to. I'm not going to trade Billy Hamilton. There's almost no point. And then you get Jesse Winker out there, and who was it? Thomas Moore, the 19-year-old. Well, Taylor Trammell. Like, I don't know. Castellanos might be a interesting player for sure. But yeah, so that's going to be it for free agency, guys. That's going to be actually it for this episode. I'll see you guys on Monday for the next one. Leave a comment. Leave a like if you like this thing. Leave a comment, though, on what you guys want to see happen for this offseason. So I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.